I have always thought that the New York prosecution was an abuse of what the law intended for a RICO case. And I think this sentence is just a further abuse of that. All of these people, when you drill down in the discovery, were perfectly happy with their Gucci stuff and their fancy dinners and their private jets and all that. And no one ever complained. They didn't even complain after R. Kelly broke up with them. They didn't complain till years later when it sort of became the thing to do and to dump on R. Kelly. So I think the sentence is just an abomination.
Hi everyone, I'm your host, owner, and creator of The Mix. Welcome to my channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you to everyone for your support. Let's get your girl, The Mix, to 1K plus subs. I'm close, you guys. I'm very close. I need for you all to listen to this video. Everyone, those who are passing through, those who have yet to subscribe, those who are subscribers. Yes, listen to this video from beginning to end. Also, let's continue to engage in the comment section. Drop a comment. Let's get the discussion going. Head on over to my community section. I have polls going on. Vote, vote, vote. Check out some of my content there. And again, thank you guys for your support. Like this video. Share this video with everyone. It costs nothing to like and share, you guys. It costs nothing. It's for free. Like, share, and subscribe to The Mix. Share my content. Let me get right into the topic at hand. Okay, everyone, as you can see what this video is going to be about. Yes, Mr. Robert Kelly, free the GOAT, free the GOAT. This is part one of R. Kelly B.O.P. neglect, basically prison neglect relating to Mr. Robert Kelly's medical condition. Okay, I'm going to read a letter that was penned on attorney Jennifer Bonjean's website. And for those who are new to my channel, catch up on this content by heading on over to my video section and also my short section of my channel, The Mix, where you can find several videos regarding Mr. Robert Kelly, his court cases, my reaction and opinion to the appeal that has been filed and things of that nature. Attorney Jennifer Bonjean is representing Mr. Robert Kelly on his appeal for New York and Chicago, which are both federal cases. Okay, let me start by saying this before I go over the letter posted by Jennifer Bonjean on her website. Those who are incarcerated have constitutional rights as well as human rights. Let that sink in. Regardless of how you feel, regardless of your opinion, regardless of the guilt or innocent, those who are incarcerated have constitutional rights as well as human rights. Period. Also, I'm about to share a screen to reflect, you guys, that this is a common problem in America. Has been going on for decades now and has gotten out of hand. This is an inhumane problem, and it does not only impact Mr. Robert Kelly, but millions of others incarcerated from a state and federal level, men, women, and juveniles. Okay, so think about it. I don't know if any one of you have had a loved one or a friend or someone that you may know, third party, that has been incarcerated, like I said, from a state and federal level. You know, the conditions is horrific, even in a county jail, from what I've heard through a few people that I've known who may have had to sit a week in jail before they were officially charged or before they posted bond, that the conditions were incredibly horrible and no one should be treated that way. Period. I don't care what anyone thinks. Okay, so let me go ahead and share a screen. I came across a couple of concerning articles. So the first article is this. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, before I jump right into the article, I came across this on Google, per Google. So this adds context to the topic. In state facilities, more than 20% of incarcerated people with a persistent medical condition go without care. That number jumps to more than 68% in local jails, among a population more likely to suffer from chronic health conditions like heart disease and diabetes, that inadequate care can be deadly. Okay, according to the NCBINLM.NIH.gov, the health and healthcare of United States prisoners. This article is pretty much like results of a national survey that they've conducted. I'm just going to go over some excerpts. You can come to this website and go over the full article yourself at your own leisure. Objective: we analyze the prevalence of chronic illnesses, including mental illness, and access to health care among United States inmates. Methods: we used the 2002 survey of inmates in local jails and the 2004 survey of inmates in state and federal correctional facilities to analyze disease prevalence and clinical measures of access to health care for inmates. And all of this ties into, everyone, just the inhumane treatment. And this is part of that. Not only the conditions, but medical related issues or medical. And these are the results. Among inmates in federal prison, state prison, and local jails, 38%, 48% respectfully suffered a chronic medical condition. Among inmates with a mental condition ever treated with a psychiatric medical, 25.5%, and it goes into more statistics. Okay, right here. Conclusion: many inmates with a serious chronic physical illness fail to receive care while incarcerated. Among inmates with mental illness, most were off their treatments at the time of arrest. Improvements are needed both in correctional health care and in community mental health service that might prevent crime and incarceration. The prison population of the United States has quadrupled. That's a shame. In the past 25 years, and the country now incarcerates more people per capita than any other nation. Let me repeat that. The prison population of the United States has quadrupled in the past 25 years, and the country now incarcerates more people per capita than any other nation. Worldwide, imprisonment per 100K ranges from 30 in India to 75 in Norway, 119 in China to 148 in the United Kingdom, 628 in Russia, and 750 in the United States. Currently, nearly 2.3 million United States inmates, about 1% of U.S. adults, must rely on their jailers for health care. And I'm going to point in on that as well. Although prisoners have a constitutional right, told you guys, to health care through the 8th Amendment's prohibition of cruel and unusual punishment, periodic scandals as well as previous studies indicate that prisoners' access to health care and the quality of that care are often deficient, indeed citing deplorable conditions in California's prison system. A federal judge recently removed prison health care from the state's control. However, there is little nationally representative data on the health care of America's prisoners. Okay, think about that, you guys. Think about that. And I'm going to interject right now before I share the next screen with you guys, the next article. I was doing research on this, trying to come up with substantial amount of data that I can gauge. And you guys know how I feel about statistics, but I use it as something to gauge. I don't really believe in it totally because it could be manipulated and it depends on so many different factors, but I digress. So I couldn't find a lot of data or statistics on this. And per that article I just read, they don't even keep up with this. So they don't even have the data to gauge. They don't really, it's insane. This is inhumane. Let me continue. Okay. According to Center for Health Journalism.org, investigating alleged medical neglect in U.S. prisons. And this article, as you can see, was written by Sandra Halsman. So you can head on over to this website. I'm going to go over some excerpts, not the full article, but you can read it at your leisure. But again, this ties into the topic at hand. November 8, 2013, there are about 60,000 Virginians in state prisons and regional jails. Providing health care for a single inmate runs $5,300 annually, and that cost has been rising 5 to 7% per year, but taxpayers may not be getting their money's worth, and people locked up for minor crimes could be paying with their lives. This ties into the article I just read about the rising incarceration rate as well. Because prisons are secure facilities operating away from public view, this problem is largely invincible. And since the average person may care little about someone convicted of a crime, there is no great concern for conditions behind bars. My goal in producing a 5-part series on prison healthcare in Virginia was to let listeners hear from inmates, to humanize them, and to raise questions about their treatment, often provided by for-profit contractors hired by the state or local governments. Okay, so this is just focusing in on Virginia's prison and jail system. So again, this connects. Okay, let me share this article with you, and this is from Vibe magazine, and this is a recent article. R. Kelly says he's scared for his life amid claims of negligence by prison staff, and this was posted on June 20th. I'm not going to go over an entire article, excerpts only, and you can head on over to this website, the article in full. R. Kelly has expressed that he's in fear of losing his life due to alleged negligence to the part of prison medical staff after undergoing an operation to treat blood clots. And if you head on over to my video section, matter of fact, I will link that in the description section of this post. When R. Kelly, back in March, he had to, by way of his attorney shouldn't even be acting as, she should be attorneying, lawyering, not acting as an advocate to ensure that her client remains alive while he go through this appeal, and that's a shame, and I'll get more into that. So kudos to attorney Jennifer Bonjean. She's the one that pushed for Mr. Robert Kelly to have that medical procedure because of health conditions he has suffered even before prison. So the singer, who is currently serving 30 years in prison after being convicted of sex trafficking, was heard on audio obtained by Rap House TV claiming that animals receive better treatment than he's been afforded while behind bars, accusing the medical staff at Chicago's Metropolitan Correctional Center of botching the procedure. Kelly said he doesn't deserve to die and that somebody miscommunicated or somebody took a guess at what's going on with my leg. He continued, adding, "I'm not supposed to die this way. You're not even supposed to take a chance on that." Boom. This is a shame. Hopefully, like that initial article I read about prisoners relying on one another, when I went over the statistics and things of that nature, although that wasn't a most recent article. Hopefully someone in prison is helping Mr. Kelly get through this by way of whatever they may know naturally, that he can, begin to heal himself and not rely on medical treatment, medical physicians, because they are only as good as somebody telling them what to do, and they are only as good as their competent level, and they are only as good as their care, if they really care or not, so knowing who he is, who knows, and that's a shame, because we should not be judge and jury over somebody's health like that. If you are a medical professional and you do not care for someone and your heart is not in it, you need to go to another freaking profession or just get out of the medical business as a whole, because that's not fair to people. That's why I really, in my opinion, ever since the CV and all of that, I kind of side out a lot of medical professionals and this and that. They practice. We are their guinea pigs. We are their biology experiments. You are blessed and you are lucky if you have a medical professional who really truly cares about you, who cares, and would also be open-minded to other alternatives as opposed to surgery and medicine. As my dad would say, they ain't nothing but some legal drug dealers, and I concur. So, at least a medical professional to say, hey, these are the alternatives, these are the options, this is what I may think, my history with this type of illness or this type of situation, and they're willing to share with you their hiccups, their good outcomes, and their bad outcomes. Like, give us all the information, but shame on those in the medical profession, nurses, doctors, pharmaceutical. If you all are out here just running amok and not really caring and just have a cold heart in caring for people, shame on you. Anyway, I digress. The infamous vocal pleaded with those who may be tuning in to the interview to consider how they would react if it was one of their family members in his position. Exactly. I would be livid. If it was your child, if it was your father, if it was your mother, somebody you loved, you would have said, go to the doctor. We need to get that checked out. We need to look at that. We need to x-ray that. Exactly, absolutely. Even if I had a relative incarcerated, I don't care what they've done. I still would, that's me. To each his own. I still find a human spirit very well have to say, wow, you know, I know ABCD happened. If they are, like, they may very well have been guilty of ABC. That's if they were. If they are, like, truly guilty. They have constitutional rights, like I said in the beginning. And this is a human. They have a humanity. They have constitutional rights, like I said in the beginning. Right. And this is a humanity issue. I digress. They have a right. Okay. Okay, you guys. So, yeah, those are a couple articles I wanted to go over with you all, and that ties into this. And one might ask, why should we care? They did the crime, so who cares? Well, how do you know for a fact they truly did the crime? I mean, you have to ask yourself that. Also, how do you know the state and federal prosecutors did not violate their constitutional rights? Due process, all that, going through the judicial system, prosecuting. How do you know unequivocally the man, woman, or juvenile was not framed? Also, ask yourself this. Is the United States judicial system in America truly fair and balanced? Lastly, ask yourself, even if the person is truly guilty of said crime, who made man, judge, and jury over how someone should be treated from a humanity perspective while incarcerated or in prison? Who? Let me go ahead and read Jennifer Bonjean's the letter to the B.O.P that she sent to them on behalf of Mr. Robert Kelly. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm pulling it up on my Twitter or my computer because my computer screen is larger. I told you guys I actually need an iPad. So if you're interested in donating for content enhancement creation, go ahead and donate. My donation information is in my description section of this post. All donation goes towards content enhancement creation. But yeah, I need an iPad. I definitely do, in order to enhance my content and for a bigger screen so I can read and do a variety of things content wise. Give me more alternatives, more options to bring a better version of content to my channel, The Mix. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm going to read it from my computer. You guys head on over to Attorney Jennifer Bonjean website. She does a lot of work. Oh my gosh, just the people that she fight for constitutional wise, their rights. It's just not R. Kelly, it's not Bill Cosby, not just them. You got everyday regular people fighting for their lives. So, and again, this is part 1. I'm going to do a part 2 as well. Here, I'm going to pull it up here. But again, I will be reading it from my Twitter page. Well, from my computer, not Twitter page. Okay, this is what I'm reading. The MCC will be held responsible for its medical negligence. And this is from Attorney Jennifer Bonjean's website. She is representing Mr. Robert Kelly. Maximize the screen, blow it up. Because your girl, The Mix, hey, I'm in my lather years. But I think I wear my lather years well. Check out some of my content, you guys. Going over to my short section. Okay. This letter was written on March 28th, 2023. R.E. Robert Kelly. Dear Mr. Steele, and I believe this is the person who's over the Federal Bureau of Prisons, B.O.P, MCC, Chicago. location. I am writing to continue our conversation from the past week and demand that my client's medical needs be addressed immediately. As you know, on March 20th, 2023, I sent you an email expressing my grave concerns about Mr. Kelly's continued pain and worsening symptoms related to his prior surgery. So yeah, okay, this touches on what I just said. Stated Mr. Kelly did undergo surgery and she had to fight and push for this. But post-op, he's still having issues? Wow. Mr. Kelly failed to receive competent post-operative care. And this is my first time reading this, you guys, at the MCC. Indeed, after Mr. Kelly's surgery, he was fitted with a cast to protect the incision site. That cast was supposed to be removed after 2 weeks, but the MCC failed to follow this directive from his treating physician. Mr. Kelly repeatedly asked the medical staff at the MCC to remove the cast and check the site of his surgery. His requests were continually ignored. Eventually, Mr. Kelly was forced to physically remove his own cast, which, as I previously stated, was absolutely unacceptable. This is ridiculous. In the past couple of months, Mr. Kelly has complained repeatedly of pain and asked that the MCC medical staff examine the source of his leg pain. Mr. Kelly even apprised MCC medical staff that he was concerned about having blood clots in the light of his family history. Again, he was ignored. On March 20th, 2023, I was forced to raise these concerns with you directly. My understanding is that last week, he was brought for outside treatment where it was confirmed that his blood clots in the leg where his surgery was performed, likely related to negligent post-operative care he received at the MCC. This is ridiculous. So I don't think he's in Chicago anymore, and rightfully so. Get him. Oh my gosh, I thought being in Chicago, Illinois at the MCC was better, but I don't. No way. Whew, blood clots are life-threatening complications that should have been monitored from the start. Very true. Mr. Kelly spent nearly a week in the hospital, during which he was denied access to me, his lawyer. Wow. And his fiance, who was desperately worried about his well-being. I appreciate that you informed me that he was obtaining treatment at a hospital, but it is entirely unacceptable that he was denied the opportunity to communicate directly with me. I emailed you yesterday to inform you that I remain concerned about his condition, and you assured me that the MCC was handling his medical needs. I am not convinced. I don't blame her. Attorney Jennifer Bonjean, she's supposed to be lawyering, preparing for his appeal, especially with the Chicago appeal. The appeal in New York has already been filed. They, to me, are doing this intentionally, and in my opinion, they're trying to kill Mr. Kelly. Oh my goodness. I spoke with him today and he sounded unwell and continued to complain of terrible pain. Ms. Savage has also informed me that she met with him today, that he looked terrible, and that she was gravely concerned about his health. MCC B.O.P has a constitutional obligation to provide competent medical care to all inmates. The MCC has failed to do so with respect to Mr. Kelly. Had Mr. Kelly received competent post-operative care, these complications would not have occurred. We fully intend to address these harms through the appropriate administrative and court process, but I have immediate concerns about Mr. Kelly's health and safety. He should be properly returned to the hospital for continued care and monitoring by competent medical personnel. Sincerely, Attorney Jennifer Bonjean. Period. Oh, you guys. Oh, my goodness. What are your thoughts? Drop a comment. Like this video. Share this video. Let's get the discussion going in the comment section. This can be your relative, a loved one, a friend, and people who are charged and convicted of less is experiencing the same thing. You just don't know it. Unless you have a relative loved one or a friend incarcerated. You just don't know it. I am happy Mr. Robert Kelly's attorney is on top of this. But let me say this. Attorneys should not be tasked or have the obligation or duty to be ensuring their client is safe in prison. This should be a given. This should be the least of an attorney's worries or concerns. Because they need their client alive and well to continue the judicial process and advocate constitutional wise for their clients on their behalf to get them released or better outcome, sentence reduced, whatever the case may be. In my opinion, Attorney Jennifer Bonjean is going over and beyond the scope of her duties because, in my opinion, some attorneys may not even care once they've gotten the bag, substantial amount of money from their client. They wouldn't even care. So this says a lot about Attorney Jennifer Bonjean's integrity, her wisdom, her fight, her tenacity, her skill set, and the human spirit in her, regardless of what the case may be at hand. So again, let me know your thoughts. There you have it. This is part 1 of the B.O.P neglect, Mr. Robert Kelly, B.O.P neglect part 1. I will be coming to you with part 2 as well. Stay tuned. Thank you all for tuning into the mix. Like this video, share this video, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.